If you've been diagnosed with diminished ovarian reserve, premature ovarian insufficiency, poor egg quality, or maybe you're navigating recurrent pregnancy loss, you might feel overwhelmed trying to figure out your next steps. Maybe you're preparing for an IVF, you want to optimize your chances, and then you find yourself stuck in a cycle of over researching, feeling the pressure to do everything perfectly. In this episode, we're sharing how our Fab Fertile method, using functional lab testing, targeted nutrition, and personalized testing, can help improve egg quality, reduce stress, and take a more empowered approach with your fertility, where you're at the center of this. Excited for you to listen? Let's go. Welcome back. I'm Sarah Clark, founder of Fab Fertile. For over a decade, my team and I have helped hundreds of couples improve their chances of pregnancy success, whether naturally or through IVF. We specialize in supporting those with low AMH, high FSH, diminished ovarian reserve, premature ovarian insufficiency, recurrent pregnancy loss, through functional lab testing and personalized fertility strategies. Today, we're digging into perfection and resetting your nervous system for pregnancy success. This podcast is for you as if you've been diagnosed with DOR, POI, or you have poor egg quality. You're navigating recurrent pregnancy loss and you're wondering what's next. You're planning an IVF retrieval or transfer and you're wondering how to optimize success. You tend to over-research, overanalyze, feel the pressure to do everything right, and you struggle with stress, control, or perfection on your fertility journey. Thanks so much for listening. I'm so thankful that you're here. Make sure you hit subscribe or follow. And if you know someone else who is on the fertility journey, please share this podcast with them. Okay, so let's get into it. So we're talking all about perfectionism. So this could stem from early childhood experiences. Maybe you had a strict upbringing. Mine wasn't too strict. Maybe you were praised for achievement rather than effort. You had to get all those straight A's and everything you did, it was all about your grades. Maybe you had a fear of failure due to critical or demanding caregivers. They were always on you, criticizing, thinking they were trying to help you improve, but that then gave you a feeling you've got to get everything perfect. Maybe you got a fear of failure or rejection, so you're just seeking that external validation. You run around waiting for everyone else to say how great you are, seeking that external validation, and you just don't feel worthy inside. So a lot of this stuff is really common, right? In our society, where we're even obviously on social media, how many likes do we have? How well did that video do? In school, we've been taught that you get noticed if your grades are well. So that external validation, rather than just feeling that you're good as you are. Avoiding criticism or negative judgment, feeling that mistakes mean personal inadequacy. This is about, we have got to keep the people that are the most successful are the ones that have failed the most. So that perfection piece is, you will fail, you will suck, you will lose, but it's, do you dust yourself off and get back up again? But that's where some of this piece comes from, that control and anxiety. So perfection is a way to manage uncertainty. This is definitely a thing comes up for me with the control. Ooh, if I don't do it, no one else will. If I just let it go, my husband's like, why are you always planning? I'm like, because you won't. But 30 years of marriage, I need to control in chaotic environments. I grew up, my brother and my dad were always fighting. They haven't talked for 13 years and just last week decided to talk again. So that's good. My dad's 84. My brother's in his 50s. Anyways, every family's got their own issues, right? So depending on what it comes up for you, fear that the imperfection is going to lead to negative consequences. If I don't control it, if I don't plan it, if I don't make sure it's going to go a certain way, it's going to definitely fall off the tracks. Is that true? Sometimes, but not all the time. Personality traits and self-worth. So high achievers, so type A personalities often struggle with perfectionism. I consider myself type A, but the perfectionist piece, I don't consider myself that. Like we say, we have high standards, but is that just hiding the fact that you want it to be perfect? Tying self-worth to success and productivity. For me, with the productivity, I have to be productive. I got to be efficient. Why do I want to waste time? Black and white thinking. If it's not perfect, it's a failure. How true is that? So if it's not perfect, it sucks. No. And then also, like I just talked about the social media and that comparison culture. I know for me, comparison, the old quote there, comparison is the thief of joy, right? We can, especially on the fertility journey, when we see all these baby pictures and the gender reveals and the baby showers and the birth announcements. And it seems now, when I was going through this, my daughter's 23, my son's 20, and you got the push gift and you got the, like all these different things. They didn't really have a lot of that. They had the baby shower, but my baby shower was 10 people with me wearing a hat with little bows on top of it. Now it's like some production of, my daughter works at a place where they do weddings and baby showers. You got 100 people coming to a baby shower, and a lot of that comparison piece, that workplace and academic performance. That's why I see I see many people where they're on the fertility journey. They're already working in a high stress job. They've got a great job. You've achieved, you've worked hard, you've got the degrees and certifications, and then you want to go get more degrees and certifications. Because if you have that, then maybe you'll feel worthy. I remember my husband saying, how many is enough? Why do you got to keep going back to school and doing this stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like if I don't have it, something was missing. And to the point I said, stop doing that. You don't need another little plaque giving money to everybody else for school. Obviously, sometimes some certain professions need to have schooling, but just recognize the fact for yourself. Are you doing that because you're not feeling worthy? You're feeling less than. That gender expectations, you're going to be the perfect student, professional. Everything's got to be perfect. Do it right. Like, that's just not even realistic. And then especially for the fertility journey, that the perfection person could be in that fight or flight mode, leading to high cortisol levels, which can disrupt your ovulation and lower your progesterone. It keeps your nervous system in overdrive. And so, like I've talked before, the body's going to prioritize your survival over reproduction because you're constantly stressed. And this can affect your AMH levels, your egg quality, your implantation success, and that over research and information overload where you listen to podcasts. Thanks for being here, but you're listening to podcasts. You're reading blogs, you're looking at success stories. You feel that person worked, and then maybe you feel it's hopeful, or maybe you feel less hopeful because it worked for her and it's not working for you. And you're trying to find that perfect fertility diet. You're trying to find the magic treatment that's going to work. And then you've got that decision fatigue, anxiety, and then it just prevents your body from relaxing and trusting the process. And so that's why it's part of our Fab Fertile. We have the testing. We also have the mindset piece to be able to help you visualize a positive path forward, help you see the themes in times of stress. Do you go into those perfectionism tendencies? Do you want to control everything, which is then heightening anxiety, and being that trusting the process and be like, oh no, I must research it and check everything and double check everything to the point that you have exhausted yourself because you're not trusting anyone. So then your body is always on high alert. And that over research, like we said, like 3 a.m. in the morning, you're scouring the internet looking for solutions, which that is your superpower, to research and to find things and to advocate for yourself. So not about that. It's just if you're constantly doing it and not trusting this, you skip from one thing to the next and you're not trusting the process. You're not digging deeper. And in this case, your nervous system is on overdrive. And maybe you're just overworking. You're ignoring the body's signals. So you're pushing through the exhaustion. I can't tell you how many people are skipping meals. No breakfast, no lunch. And then we're having dinner later at night and we're over exercising. And all of this can negatively impact your hormones and fertility. So it's not about you overworking, not even taking time for lunch, thinking you need to be in every last meeting. And you're starting IVF and we haven't got the foundation piece in here, where the elephant in the room is you're stressed to the max and you're not fueling your body in the way it needs. And so that emotional blocks for conception, maybe the fear of failure, so that rigid thinking, and you've got emotional burnout, making it harder to stay hopeful and trust the journey. Maybe you've lost touch with that intuition, with your faith. We've just got stuck in our logical brain and we're researching and we're just exhausted by the whole piece. We're in that like rigid thinking side of things and we haven't tapped into our spirit baby. All of us have intuition. So listen to what feels right for you. The spirit of your baby is waiting right now for you to do this work. We believe in miracles. You got to meet your miracle part way though, making the changes, doing the work, putting yourself first, leaning in on the faith, taking time to go to your place of worship. Maybe on the fertility journey, it can be difficult because there's a lot of families and children there, and being able to see how is there places at your place of worship if you haven't been in a while, and that gives you peace and comfort. Or maybe you need to find a new place to be able to deepen that faith. And that helps with the calm, that helps with the trust. And so to look for the perfection piece of this and to improve fertility is you got to reframe the good enough. It's progress over perfection. Those small, sustainable changes instead of this drastic overhaul where I got to go and clean the whole house, throw everything out in the garbage each day. You don't have a massive list. You have one thing each day that you do. So you're going to stop eating gluten today. And then each day you're going to choose anti-inflammatory foods. You'll stop eating the fast food and the processed food. Maybe for you, you'll just eat breakfast. Practice some nervous system regulation. Put it in your phone to give you a notification. So breath work, meditation, journaling, visualizing can help shift the body out of that fight or flight. And then that's going to support your reproductive health. Letting go of the control. So trust your body's ability to heal. We don't need to micromanage everything for this to work. Giving it over to trust the process. Know that the majority of us can get pregnant naturally. We don't all need to rush to the fertility clinic. That was the fertility treatments was for people that have blocked fallopian tubes. Obviously, if that's you, then you need to go there. But the majority of us can get pregnant naturally. Sometimes we do need assistance, and that's okay. But we need to be able to let go of the control of how this will happen and really lean into that intuition, into the faith piece, and into the trust. And then also focusing on the joy and self-compassion. A lot of times we're like, oh, I'll be happy when my baby comes. I'll be happy later down the road, rather than right now doing activities that make you happy, hanging out with your partner, having more intimacy. This can bring pleasure and relaxation now, instead of seeing everything as this big freaking checklist where you gotta do all this, gotta do that. Do things that make you happy. If it's like going for a bike ride, going for a walk, going for a swim, doing a yoga class, hanging out with your partner, having date night. I say to people, how's your relationship? This journey can pull you apart or bring you closer together. How's your date nights? People are like, date nights? I haven't had date nights in ages. Why not? Be able to prioritize that with the two of you. Go and enjoy yourself. Go see a concert. Go for a picnic. Pick something and spend some time with your partner. Or also, sometimes you need therapy, right? To be able to help with this piece, therapy for yourself, therapy for you and your partner, to be able to reduce the emotional burden of this journey. So part of our Fab Fertile Method, we have mindset coaches that can really identify that perfection piece and really help you shift out of those perfectionist tendencies, because really it's harming you, right? It's got you up in that fight or flight piece, and how to be able to let go. And so you can try the good enough reframe. So let go of that all or nothing thinking and embrace the progress. So see areas where you're striving for perfection. Maybe it's the diet. You're like, oh, I gotta control the diet. Maybe it's the supplements. You're taking 20 or 30 supplements a day. Maybe it's the tracking of the cycle. That's why sometimes people that doing some of the testing, the AMH testing, the FSH testing, or the hormone or the tracking with the fertility trackers, if that is just driving you bananas, let that go. The diet piece, if you're so constricted on this that we're down to eating nothing, we need to be able to see that. So what would good enough look like? Eating mostly an anti-inflammatory foods instead of obsessing over every ingredient. Oh, the pepper, the this. Obviously, we're doing food sensitivity testing. There's going to be a period of time, 60 and 90 days, where you want you to take out the top allergens. But we really need to see, that's why each person is different. If we find that you're obsessing over this and it's causing more stress, where can we let things go a little bit? Trusting your body that you're doing enough, that you are enough. And then do a body check-in. Put your hand on your heart or one on your womb, and 3 belly breaths through your nose, out your mouth. Just say, I am safe. My body is working for me. I'm releasing control and I trust the process. Repeat that daily, silently or out loud throughout the day, those belly breaths. A lot of us are sitting at our computer all day long, on a laptop, working from home, doing Zoom calls. And if you can put that into your phone and to say that, I am safe, my body is working for me. I release control and I trust the process. If you're like, that sounds foreign, say it some more. And then the visualization piece, closing your eyes and imagining a warm golden light entering your body, and see it flowing to your ovaries, your uterus, your heart, filling you with calm and nourishment. Picture yourself holding your future baby, feeling joy and peace and gratitude, and say, I'm open to receiving. My body is preparing new life. If it's hard for you to see, visualize yourself holding your baby, visualize yourself pregnant. Sometimes people can visualize themselves with a toddler. So add some of these exercises in here. And then a big one is then the nervous reset. So 4, 7, 8 breathing can really help reduce stress and calm the mind. So you want to inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. And repeat 4 to 5 times whenever you feel overwhelmed. 4, 7, 8 breathing. So that can really help reduce stress and calm the mind. So if you're ready to improve pregnancy success and really address the perfectionism piece, right? See how it's probably worked for you for a period of time, and now it may no longer be serving you. We need to let go and trust that your body wants to procreate. Send me a message at hello@fabfertile.ca, do subject line fertile, and we'll come up with some strategies and a plan to help improve pregnancy success. Take care.